All right, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Again, we do have in-person media, so we'll start with in-person questions, and we'll go here in the front of the stand. Van, go ahead.
Hi. What were all thoughts on the match? You don't.
Yeah, I thought again in the first half we played some really good stuff. Maybe a little fortunate on the first goal, but the old saying, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And Louisville are a really difficult team to prepare for because they have a lot of aerial threats. They're normally quite direct off most of their play. I think Taylor Flint playing a little bit lower, we hadn't really planned for. She hasn't really played as a centre-back very much. But even though I think they got into our final third more than we got into theirs, they had more shots than we had. They weren't really that dangerous shots until maybe later in the game. And I think we obviously made changes to try and see the game out. That's something that we still need to keep working on how we can sort of see games out maybe a little bit better. Obviously disappointed to concede late in the game, but it's so interesting how the group responded at the end, because they were very happy with the 3 points, but immediately they're like, we want to see the goal, we want to know what we could do better at. And I think that says a lot about our group right now, is they're not happy and satisfied. They always want to try for more. And I said to the group at the end, I think we've had a really challenging 2 weeks for many reasons, and to come out of that with 9 points out of the 4 games, I think is a huge positive for us, and a huge area that we can continue to build from now.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Mardy back-to-back goals and doing it on a home away from home pitch, and just how well she's been doing?
Yeah, I thought Manny Mercado again was excellent today. Her hold-up play was good. Again, it's an opportunity of, if you don't shoot, you don't score. She took her goal on Wednesday superbly, and I'm really happy for her that she got another opportunity to do that again. She's worked really hard over the years that she's been with us, and now she's starting to see the reward of that hard work. So I'm really happy for her.
I think today I really noticed, game plan had revolved around really building out coming back, kind of using the width of the pitch as best as possible on a narrower field than what Lumen is. Was that kind of what you wanted to come into doing, or was that kind of a product of Louisville seemingly not pressing as high sometimes when the ball was at the back?
Yeah, our build out is a progress thing that we know every game it's going to look different depending on what the opponent does. We expected them to maybe press a little bit higher, so we had to come up with some solutions on ways that we could break them. We tried a few things in the first half. We solidified what we wanted to do at half time. We came out in the second half. I felt we did a little bit better at it in the second half. They changed again, so it was a little bit of chess at times. But I think, again, that's an evolution of our team, is that there's just not one way we want to play. There's multiple ways we can play. And it's just seeing the pictures and seeing what the opponent's given us and being able to adapt to that. And I thought we did a good job of that.
Coach, a 2-game win streak here in Spokane.
Yeah.
3 against Denver coming up. But just tell me a little bit about the atmosphere, and shoot, if you win a third one, you keep the residency going.
I know it might be a conversation about moving. No, I think really happy. I think I said this on Wednesday. It's got a bit of nostalgia feel to me. It reminds me of when we used to play at Memorial Stadium. It's quite intimate, and the field's a little bit narrower and a little bit shorter, and it's been great. I think the fans have really embraced us. With a lot of the things we've been doing in the community away from the games to try and get people to come out and watch us. And you can just tell that they're excited to see us, which has been amazing. And we're looking forward to going back to our own beds for sure. But we'll be happy to get back on a plane on Friday and come back out here and hopefully put on another good performance.
Can you speak a little bit to Kokos, just resurgence this year, and her growth, because compared to last year, it's kind of a night and day.
Yeah, I think Coco made really big strides last year. She maybe just didn't get the reward that she deserved from that progress. the off season's been different for Coco. She wasn't able to go home, so she spent the majority of time in Seattle. And we're seeing, I think, the positive of that is all she had to do in the off season, because she couldn't go home, was train and prepare for season, and she's come in fit and strong and healthy. She looks like she could play every minute of every game. And this league's challenging. It's always been challenging for anyone coming who's new to it. And I think Coco has shown that she has the talent, and now she has the physical capabilities to compete in it game in, game out. And so happy for her that she got a goal today, because I think she fully deserved that as well.
I personally have been very impressed with the response following the loss against Portland.
Yep.
2 wins in a row, fluidity in place with great intensity has been something that's really stood out to me. Do you kind of see it that way? And then what specifics do you mentioned the players obviously are satisfied with the performances so far, albeit very impressive. What kind of specific things are you looking forward to fine-tuning as the season progresses?
Yeah, I mean, I won't keep talking about the Portland game, but I said it on Wednesday. I do believe that the Portland game was not who we are, and I think the Orlando game, Wednesday's game, and today is who we are. And there's still evolution that we can have within those 3 games as well. And to be very specific, I think defensively we can still be more solid and not let teams break through us. Sometimes as easily as they do. That's a big one that the players it hurts the players when that happens. So I know that's going to be something they're going to want to talk about when we get back to Seattle. And fine-tuning the build. I think our ability to progress the ball up the field, our aim is to be as unpredictable as possible within structure and shape that we want to try and create. And I said to the players over the last couple of days, we're layering things in already that I didn't think we were going to be able to layer in until maybe when we get into the little break where we have more time. But they're accepting the information and utilising it in games earlier than we thought. So we're already fine-tuning some of the stuff that I thought we probably would start to fine-tune later in the season, just to make it where we want to be as unpredictable as possible to the opponent, whilst also knowing what we're trying to do. And credit to the players, they've been doing a really good job of that without having tons of training opportunities. So I think that's the layer that we want to continue to fine-tune on both sides of the ball.
All right, we're going to go over to Zoom now. Chasm, you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you about Emily Mason. Looked like she's kind of settled into that center back spot, had some pretty good deflections. Looked like she was kind of in the right spots a lot of times today.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of talk about her progression, and have you seen her kind of get more comfortable in that spot, you'd say?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, I think with Jordan Bugg being injured, it's Emily's taken the opportunity. And, I think we always knew last year what Mason's very, very good at is she's a very, very good defender. Very, very good defender, which I think you saw today. And the bit that we're trying to help her with and continue to help her with is being better and better every week on the ball. And I think in the last 2 games, she's been excellent. She doesn't give the ball away in areas where it could hurt us. If she doesn't feel like she can see a pass, she puts it in areas of the field that the opponent can't score goals on us, which I'm okay with. And yeah, I think she's been great over the last 2 games. And, I think for a young player coming out of the Orlando game, coming out of the Portland game, it could have been quite easy for her to drop her head and, that really impact her performances. And she hasn't done that. She's done the complete opposite, which says a lot about her.
All right, and then we'll go to Jada.
Thanks. Congratulations on the win, Lauren. I wanted to ask about Phoebe. How is she doing?
She just got a dead leg and just was feeling it. And obviously we didn't want to take the risk of it becoming more serious. But I think Touchwood, she'll be okay.
And then you guys with the defense, I know that some things broke through, and obviously the goal there very, very late. But it seemed like it was a pretty good defensive showing from y'all. Can you kind of talk a little bit about the way that they were playing, especially since I believe they've played in every game, that back line?
Yeah, I think they were great again. Made it difficult for Louisville when we did get broken. I think Sam and Ainsley did a good job, Has did a good job when she came on. It's just tough late in games when a team like that has the capabilities that they have aerially, is to try and make it as hard as possible for them to get in positions to cross. So that's probably something that we'll talk about next week on how we can maybe do a little bit better in that moment. But outside of that, I thought the back line was excellent. And, you know, I'll lastly want to shout out Holly Ward. I think she's hardly had training opportunities with us, and to come on and start and put in the performance that she did, I thought was great. We needed her today, and she stepped up and she really showed some glimpses of what she could do. So I was really happy for her as well.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, guys.